What is up, guys? My name is Magic the Greatening, and today I'm going to be giving you a really fun deck to play with, and it's fun to play with, and it's kind of funny at the same time. It's green-white tribal cats. That's right, Tribal Cats is back in, and it's actually not that bad of a deck. I wouldn't consider it competitive, and it's actually kind of expensive just because of one card, and you could probably replace it. But the deck kind of needs it because otherwise without it, it's kind of bad. So let's get into it. We're playing 23 creatures. You would expect that when we're playing a whole bunch of cats. Let's go to our only one drop. We're going to play 4 copies of Sacred Cat. Just a 1/1 lifelink that can come back from the grave. Pretty good. Nothing else to say about it really much. On to our 2 drops, and this is where it'll get a little bit expensive. We're going to play 4 copies of Metallic Mimic and 2 copies of Watchers of the Dead. Metallic Mimic, you just name cats, of course. And for Watchers of the Dead, I think I am playing 1 more in the sideboard just in case you are playing a whole bunch of Graveyard Hate. But I'm like, might as well throw it in there. It's a cat, you know. It's going to be a sideboard of a lot of competitive decks. But I kind of want this in because it's a cat. That's it. On to the 3 drops. And we're playing a few of them. We're going to play 3 copies of Pouncing Cheetah and 3 copies of Prowling Serpopard. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that right. Pouncing Cheetah is just a 3/2 with Flash. And it's a cat. Pretty nice. Flash is kind of an underrated mechanic. And Serpopod is there just because it's a cat. But it also keeps our guys from being countered, which is really nice because I'm feeling like mono blue control is going to be a thing again. So that card is like their worst nightmare. So that'll allow our creatures to get through without, being countered. So I had to play it probably 3, and I think I'm playing 1 more in the sideboard. On to the stuff that makes this deck an actual deck. We're going to play 4 copies of Regal Caracal. Yep, this is our anthem, and it's the only reason that I made this cat deck. Other cats you control have +1/+1 and lifelink. That's good in itself. When it also enters, it creates 2 1/1 cat creature tokens. They have lifelink as well. Just so if your anthem guy, Regal Caracal, dies, you still have 2 1/1 lifelink guys. That's pretty good. For our last 3 creatures, they're all 6 drops. We're going to play 3 copies of Felidar Sovereign. Not Felidar Guardian. That is banned. Felidar Sovereign, excuse me. A 4/6 Vigilance lifelink cat. It's not too bad. Could be a 5/7 or a 6/8 if you have Metallic Mimic and a Regal Caracal out. But it's kind of interesting because if you have 40 or more life, you win the game. I don't think that'll ever happen. But, it's just a huge cat to put out. So it kind of needs that. It's kind of our big guy. And Vigilance is really, really nice. So, onto our spells. Here is the card that makes up almost like over a third of the budget. We're going to play 4 copies of Always Watching. This deck kind of needs that more Anthem effect so we can get bigger cats. But you could always replace this. I don't know what to replace it with. Honestly, you could probably just replace it with like removal or something. But yeah, Always Watching. Just give all your guys +1 and +1 in Vigilance. We're going to play 3 copies of Oketra's Monument. And I chose white just because of Regal Caracal and Felidar Sovereign. Makes them cost 1 less, which is really nice. And then whenever you cast a creature spell, you get a 1/1 guy. It's not a cat, unfortunately, but it's another blocker. And it comes in with Vigilance, which is kind of nice. We're going to play 3 copies of Prepared to Fight. This is nice because you just give one of your dudes like +2/+1 and +2/+2 in Vigilance until end of turn. Lifelink. And that's nice in itself. You swing in with someone, they bring out maybe a haste guy because red aggro is gonna be a thing here. And then you untap one of your dudes, give them +2/+2 in lifelink, and what they thought they're gonna hit you for 4, all of a sudden you kill their guy and you gain a whole bunch of life. So it's like perfect against red aggro. And then the aftermath is just a fight. You just fight target creature. Not too good because it costs 4, but if you ever need it, you got a Felidar Sovereign on the board, you need to clear out one of their dudes, there's a perfect opportunity right there. We're going to play 2 copies of Renewed Faith. Now, you're saying, oh, I thought this wasn't a Felidar Sovereign deck. It's not, but, you know, cats are all about gaining life, so I might as well throw 2 copies of this in here. You can always cycle it and gain 2 life. That's pretty good. You draw a card and you gain 2 life for 2 mana. That's actually, like, pretty good. Yeah, nothing else to say about that. And one of our only removals in the main board is 3 copies of Stasis Snare. Pretty important in this standard right now that we have gods back. So we do need stuff that exile stuff, and this will do it. Let's jump to the lands. You could just do, 12 copies of each forest and plains. However, if you want to upgrade, maybe you want to do Fortified Village and Scattered Groves as your lands. That'd be nice. On our sideboard, we have 3 copies of Fragmentize in there for vehicles, obviously. 2 copies of Fumigate, just in case we're playing against zombies. 2 copies to Heaven Earth, not because we can cast the Earth part, but if you're playing a whole bunch of flyer deck, like a flying deck, that would be nice. 2 copies of Manglehorn against vehicles again, pretty good. We're playing 1 more Prowling Serpapod, 1 more copy of Stasis Snare, 1 more copy of Watches the Dead, and of course, 3 copies of Vizier of Remedies, just in case we're playing a -1 against a -1/-1 counter deck. Yeah. Wow, what an interesting deck. I mean, it's $70, mostly because of always watching a Metallic Mimic. However, I do think it's pretty fun to play with, actually. I'm not going to lie. It's almost $70, but if you took out, always watching, it basically goes down to $40. So, that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed Green, White, Cat, Tribal, and Standard. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for more. Thank you guys so much for watching.